Now stop what you're doing. This isn't a drill. Donald Trump's inner circle, the loyal foot soldiers who have spent years doing his dirty work, may finally be staring down the barrel of real prison time. And if Rick Wilson's latest warning is even half right, we're about to watch one of the biggest reversals of fortune in modern American politics. For years, Trump has used the Department of Justice as his personal revenge weapon, a pay-to-play protection racket that punishes his critics and shields his cronies. But now, legal experts say those same tactics are boomeranging back on his own people. Wilson, the former GOP strategist who basically wrote the book on Trumpism, laid it out plainly this week. Trump's allies are committing life-wrecking felonies in broad daylight. Now let me break this down. Under 18 U.S.C. subsection 242, if you abuse the power of your office to strip Americans of their rights, that's a felony, up to 10 years behind bars. If someone gets seriously harmed, you're looking at life in prison. Under subsection 241, conspiring with others to violate civil rights is itself a felony. And obstruction of justice? Now you're talking 5, 10, even 20 years all stacked. Every fake affidavit, every kangaroo indictment, every phony leak to Trump's propaganda machine, these aren't just bad headlines. They're potential criminal counts. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Lindsay Halligan and the rest, the just following orders crowd, they're betting Trump will just swoop in with pardons and protection. But history and Trump's own track record says otherwise. Trump burns through his allies like cheap paper towels at Mar-a-Lago. His own lawyers have been left twisting in the wind before. His aides have been hung out to dry before. Even Rick Wilson says it outright. Trump's not exactly a model of health and reliability. Even if there were a plan to hand out pardons, what happens if he simply can't? And that's the loyalty trap. Trump demands absolute obedience. He promises protection, but the loyalty only flows one way, towards him. The more you give, the more you risk being the fall guy or the fall gal. And when the music stops, you're the one left holding the bag while he shrugs and moves on to his next grift. Wilson even invoked Nuremberg, and that's not hyperbole. The old "I was just following orders" defense is not a defense, it's a confession. History doesn't reward the people who weaponize government power to persecute critics. It tries them, it imprisons them. It remembers them as villains, not patriots. Look at Trump's own record. Rosie O'Donnell was a fat pig. Reporters were enemies of the people. Prosecutors were traitors. He spent decades publicly shaming anyone who crosses him, and now his own allies are carrying out his authoritarian blueprint, turning the DOJ into a protection racket, weaponizing indictments against critics, even floating using the military as a domestic police force. But here's the kicker, and this is why this story really matters. If there's no accountability for these henchmen, Trump's playbook becomes the new normal. The US will stop being a constitutional democracy and start being a mob state. That's why this moment is so very important. Some of these people are still young. Caroline Leavitt is in her 20s. When she's in her 40s, will she look back and think, was it worth it to tell all those lies for a man who would have thrown me under the bus just to save his own old wrinkly orange shitty ass? Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, if the cell door slams shut tomorrow, will they think, was it worth it? History has already answered that question. Rick Wilson calls it Trump's loyalty trap. It's a blueprint for disaster. The question isn't whether Trump's henchmen will face charges. The question is whether decent, upstanding Americans demand that the law apply to them the way it applies to everyone else. Because if you don't, it won't be just Trump's racket, it will be America's new normal. So yes, this is the stunning reversal. The people who built Trump's machine may be the ones it destroys first. And if that sounds harsh, remember Nuremberg. Just following orders doesn't save you, accountability does. And accountability is exactly what democracy needs right now. If you want to see more stories like this, click on one of these videos. And please like, subscribe and leave a comment below. It really helps with the algorithm. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one.